before we get into strength and conditioning, I wanted to ask real briefly, do you have any injuries growing up, playing sports through high school or anything like that that you had to overcome and deal with?
No.
Even as a wrestler, that is amazing. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think
Yeah.
I think God must have blessed me or
That
something,
is
but
good.
it was never, I didn't have catastrophic injuries.
Good. Mm-hmm.
And maybe it was because I didn't play at a high level like many other people that I come in contact with, but nothing torn, nothing really broken.
Yeah. No,
Just like
that's
injuries here and there. And
yes.
I could have credited it to the amount of training I did, but I don't think it was that. I think it was just fortunate.
Yeah. No, I think there's a lot of things that have to happen, but that's really good because I think obviously injuries happen. It's inevitable sometimes, but if you can do all of the things to, avoid having those injuries, I think that will help you even what you do now, right? As a strength coach, as a performance coach, because you're still putting your body through things. You still have to demonstrate. You have to still do these types of activities, right? Maybe it's not at the competitive level, but knowing that you don't have that injury history, I think it's a lot easier for you to actually do some of these physical tasks that you have to do, right?
Well, I think we can go back to that idea that, when you play sports year round and you play multiple sports,
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of had a feeling of like I could jump into anything and do pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Not just on a performance perspective, but I was kind of aware of what was happening with my
Mm-hmm.
body most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't specialize in one thing. And I think that's something that we do all the time. It's especially the kids now. It's like some of the kids that I have, I call them kids, they're really like young adults.
Yeah.
But they played like one sport since they were like 10.
Mm-hmm.
They like played some sports they tried and then they found their one sport and then they stuck to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we need to stop that. I mean, it's not going to happen because
Mm-hmm.
there's this like expectation that you need to play on these travel teams and these all-star teams and then get yourself to Division I athletics, which
Mm-hmm.
is how it happens. It kind of has to happen that way now. So it's like we have this idea that we need to play more sports and then be more well-rounded, so we'll not have these injuries, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you do that, you might not reach the level that
Yeah.
you need to get here. So it's kind of like, okay, this is what needs to happen, but we know it's not going to happen.
Yes. Yeah. And I completely agree. I think there has to be somewhat of a balance, right? And then taking into all of these other factors and influences, because, especially if it's, I mean, this is going down another rabbit hole, but, if someone is, they're going to be better off playing all multi sports, being a multi-sport athlete, but then maybe they don't reach that level, right, that they're trying to aspire to. But sometimes it's like, okay, what is your athletic capacity? What's going to really help you to be healthy, happy, safe, and all of that, and still perform at a high level, right? I think there has to be some type of balance. And I'm, as I've said many times on the podcast, I'm a big proponent for being at least a little bit multi-sport athlete. Or if you're not, you got to have some type of off season where you're doing something different. Don't tax your body in the exact same way, because I think it's safe to say that it's pretty known now that if we just keep doing the same thing over and over, your injury risk starts to go up, overuse injuries and things like that.